by 3. Bayless dishes to Antetokounmpo. Here's Plumlee. Now Bayless. 14 points from him the last game against Atlanta. To the middle. Another shot. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Here's a chance to take a look at the Pistons and how they rank in the NBA right now. 3rd and 2nd chance points. 4th in rebounds. And they're in the top 10 in fewest turnovers per game. And they really do emphasize taking care of the ball.
And Clark, let's go back to those second chance points, because if you have a chance to watch this team practice, you'll see they make a huge point of emphasis on converting offensive rebounds into extra possessions. So this is a team that's going to pound the glass night after night.
Drummond's checked in for Joel Embiid. And Milwaukee also making a switch. Dudley's checked in.
Yeah, that was kind of clumsy looking. He was not going to get away with that.
Climbed all over him like he was on the ladder. I mean, that's an easy over-the-back call there.
Savage. That's the way to get some momentum on your side.
Absolutely. Those dunks can really have a deflating effect on the defense.
Yeah, especially coming from a guy out of the backcourt.
And Bayless kicks to Dudley. To the middle. Just 5 to shoot. The shot's good from Bayless.
And assists like that have typified their effort today. Great ball movement.
Really an example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Here's Dinwiddie. Off with the layup. Antetokounmpo passes to Dudley. Feeds to Antetokounmpo. Rebound, Detroit. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of Miami.
And guys, had their free throw shooting been anywhere near up to par, I think it would have changed everything in that game.
No doubt about it. I mean, there is a carryover effect when you're not having success at the line. It infiltrates other parts of your game.
The 3 from Dudley. And the basket good. Dudley's got his first 3 points of the game.
D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
.44 left in the first half of the game. Pass to Dinwiddie. Kicks it out to Prince. All alone. Buries the jump shot. Prince has got his first basket. And Bayless kicks to Dudley. Top of the key, Bayless. They set the pick. He feeds it to Dudley. And stolen by Prince. Unhindered, going all the way. Meeks can't hit. Dudley with it. Right now averaging 7 points a game. And Antetokounmpo gets it to go.
Assist from.
You know, regardless of who starts the break, it seems like he's usually the one to finish it.
And that's because of how well he attacks the rim on the dead run.
Where was he going with that pass? I mean, that's just an awful turnover.
And so we wrap up the first half. The Bucks on top, leading by 8. And we'll be back for the second half following the break. Keep it right here on 2K Sports. All right, the second half beginning in just a moment.
Detroit needs to do a better job guarding against Mayo.
He's got 8 points, and he's got 2 baskets from out in three-point land.
I'm sure they'd like to get him a few more of those, so look for them to run some screens for him, try to pop him open.
Caldwell Pope out there with Jackson, and it's Caron Butler. And there's Anthony Tolliver, and it's Drummond in at the 5. That's the 5 on the floor for the Pistons. A lot of questions about what exactly is the best fit for Drummond on the floor. And Steve, I mean that both in what position he plays and who he pairs up with inside.
I think that's the key, Kevin. It's really who he's paired up with. You know, last year's Pistons team just didn't have enough floor spacing, so the paint was clogged. But if you get Drummond with some shooting, particularly a stretch four, to really open up the court for him, man, that's scary.
Pistons trailed by 8. And for those of you turning in, we're about a minute into the second half. Jackson dishes to Caldwell Pope. Clock at 6. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
That's his first personal foul.
And with Drummond, I think he has such versatility and is really a amazingly consistent player in how he plays. I think he could tandem and partner up with any other big guy and be effective.
And guys, it's easy to look good playing alongside someone like Drummond, who has athleticism that is matched by very few in the league and maybe unparalleled for others at his position. It makes the coach's job a lot easier.
The Pistons making a change here. Prince is checked in. And while we have a moment, let's find out which point guards have had the best month from the charity strike. You take a look at Bayless, second in the NBA. So great from the line.
They are as reliable at the free throw line as you're going to find in this league. And that's something we've come to expect from the point guard position.
Yeah, that is typically where we find a lot of the top foul shooters in the league, quite honestly. But that doesn't mean we should take these guys for granted now. I mean, they put in an enormous amount of work to get to that level.
Nice pass. That one was right on target.
And that's a foul. It's called on Reggie Jackson. That is his first foul of the game.
That's his first personal foul. First team foul.
Ilyasova is screen on Jackson. Jackson comes over with the double. Ilyasova passes to Bayless. To the inside. Pachulia, no luck. Pistons trailed by 8. There's the dish to Caldwell Pope. Back to Jackson. 6 to shoot. And he uses both hands to jam it in. That could give him a huge injection of energy, Clark.
And Kevin, that's exactly what they need right now. They've got to close the gap.
Forget about that for a second. How about the burst to the bucket for a point guard? Boy, he can power those down.
The Bucks shooting their 5th attempt at the line in the game.
Well, solid numbers for this club from the free throw line this season, shooting about 77% collectively.
Those are good numbers for any team. I mean, they can feel extremely good about their free throw shooting percentage this season.
And there it is again. That's where their points have been coming today, from the low post.
And even under pressure in tight, they've maintained their concentration and converted their opportunities.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee.
Well, he wants to get everybody on the same wavelength, that's for sure. And he may change up some things here as well.
Looks to me like he saw something that wasn't on the plan, and I think now is the time to address it. I don't have a problem with that.
A different look for Milwaukee. Henson's checked in for Pachulia. Dudley comes in for O.J. Mayo. And Michael Carter-Williams subbed in for Jared Bayless. Ilyasova sets a screen for Carter-Williams. Right wing. Here's Middleton. Can't hit. And Detroit the other way now. They lost the last time they faced the Bucks. That one in Milwaukee.
Yeah, they really took it on the chin that last time out, and the difference was the turnover differential. When you look at the stat sheet, they were so careless with the ball, and those mistakes were just too much to overcome.
He is one guy you do not stand in the way of when he decides to attack the rim.
An indication there of why the scoreboard looks like it does. Very passive defense.
But the finish was anything but passive.
No, he hammered that down, Clark. Superb above the rim action.
Jackson misses.
You see the defenders get out of his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the bucket, but not that time.
Carter-Williams against Jackson. And stolen by Prince. Here's Caldwell Pope. And Henson pulls it down.
Boy, we don't see that too often. No defender on him, and he just clanks the open jumper.
And Dudley kicks to Carter Williams. Detroit with the rebound.
Well, what appeared to be an easy 2 points just never materialized.
To the wing right side. Caldwell Pope dishes to Drummond. And that is good. Drummond's got 6 points in the quarter.
Boy, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip. They got a battle inside.
Well, this game has been tough, Clark. I mean, they're getting after it, and I think they're starting to run a little bit low on energy, possibly.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Henson with it. Butler covering. From deep, Ilyasova. That's good. Ilyasova's got 8.
Great opportunity right there. He's got such tremendous length. He can just rise up and get separation for the 3.
Off the screen. Oh, and the jam by Butler.
Boy, that's some physical basketball out there. I'm glad I'm not in the middle of that. A hard pick and an assist.
Pistons trailed by 6 on the floor for Milwaukee starting the 4th quarter. Up front you have Ilyasova and Henson. Jared Dudley out there with Jared Bayless. And it's Middleton in at the 3, the small forward.
And they're beginning to fall apart a little bit defensively, especially inside.
Well, that's 4 straight buckets now at the rim.
In the corner, Ilyasova with it. That's good, and so Bayless with the assist. Bayless has got 3 assists tonight.
What a display of offense we've seen today, and it's only getting better.
Well, both defenses have been on their heels all day, and it's begun to take its toll.
Here's Middleton, and it's another Milwaukee shot right there going in. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for Milwaukee.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
And they're also really getting out in transition and scoring some hoops in the fast break tonight.
I think they need to get much more disruptive defensively. They can't just keep allowing these easy baskets.
I agree. They need more energy in the post, maybe some double teaming. They've got to get their defense in gear.
Here's Bayless. Shot off the pick. And another basket for Milwaukee.
And the D is having problems stopping the mid-range jumper. They're not really closing out on them as much as they should be.
Yeah, look at the numbers. 6 of the last 10 points have come by way of that jump shot, Clark.
Now that's how to finish the break. Throw down with force.
Boy, the kind of moments you love to see. Excellent defense leading to a dunk at the other end.
Clark, you got to marvel at the transition game when they've got it clicking. It's really explosive.
High octane for sure.
And turning defensive pressure into offensive opportunities, that's what it's all about.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Miller. Sean Williams checks in for Caron Butler. And it's Jody Meeks in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Well, over the break, I listened in on Stan Van Gundy's huddle. He let his players know that they've got to do a better job on defense. He said they're scoring any way they want. We've got to show some pride here. Let's make a stand defensively, get us stops, and get on a run of our own. Do they have it in them, Kevin?
Always great to hear from you, Doris.
Good rebound there, but overall, they're getting outworked on the glass.
Steve,